We found a piece of property that we now occupy, and I couldn't, the bank wouldn't loan me money, but I found a private investor that would basically own or finance the land to me. Consequently, I ended up becoming very, very close to this gentleman, and he became my mentor in so many ways. He owned a trucking company, he owned real estate, and so one by one, he helped me buy. I bought several properties on the courthouse steps through his help, and then I ended up buying several of the homes that are on my street where I live.
Thanks for joining us on the REI-NWA podcast. This is podcast number 9, and I'm your host, Coley Bailey. I am a broker and team leader with the Lone Rock team at Fathom Realty, and today I'm super excited to be talking with Jon Jouvenaux. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, glad to be here, man.
Man, you are a legend in REI-NWA. You really are.
I'm not sure about that.
As an investor and a business owner, and you've been coming to REI events for how long?
4, 5, 6 years. I'm not sure now how long it's been. I think 2018 maybe is when I found the bunch.
Okay.
I think that's right. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, you've been there as long as I've been coming, and just been a figurehead for it. So, yeah, everybody needs to go to lunch with Jon. Actually, I need to go to lunch with you too pretty soon.
Topgolf. We need to go hit some balls.
We should, man. Yeah. We should.
Right.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about how you got started in real estate. Maybe a little bit about where you're from and.
Oh man, how far do you want to go back?
I don't know. Where are you from originally?
Well, so I grew up in North Little Rock.
Okay.
And my real estate investing goes back to when I was 20 years old. Julie and I were going to get married, and in December, in August, I talked her into buying a mobile home, a 3-2 mobile home, and we were going to put it on a rented lot. And I promised her we'd only be there like a year, and then we'd buy some land. We'd move that mobile out to that land, and then eventually we'd build a house and then either rent the mobile out or sell it or whatever. And 12 and a half years later, we still lived in that same mobile home on that same rented lot. I was not good in business at that point. I had an automotive repair shop, and I ended up crashing it $250,000 in debt and had to close the doors. I was a great mechanic. If you've ever read the book E-Myth Revisited, that's basically my story.
Okay.
I was a great mechanic. I knew nothing about business. And so we relocated to Northwest Arkansas. She was recruited to come teach up here. She's a teacher by trade. And so we moved up here, and we were able to ended up buying a house up here. It was our first house. And I think a year or 2 or 3 after we got up here, I think it was in the second year, we actually had that mobile home moved from North Little Rock to a lot that we bought up here in Northwest Arkansas. We ended up buying all the rest of the lots that were in that mobile home community. It was in a spot of Bella Vista that was county at the time. And so we bought like 13 more lots that were in there, and started buying mobiles and renting them out, basically renting the lots out to people who own their own mobiles. And then we started buying mobiles and putting them on there. After living in a neighborhood for about 2 or 3 years, it was clear that I should not live in a neighborhood. I'm in the septic and portable toilet business. We have track hose and equipment and stuff. And I kept getting letters from the POA about I shouldn't park my stuff on non-paved surfaces.
So when did you start that business? Like how soon after you got up to Northwest Arkansas were you able to start that business?
I didn't actually. BBB was started by Bill and Patty Hyde back in like 87, 85 to 87, somewhere in there. It was named after their 3 sons. We tell everybody it's Big Belly Boys, but it's actually named after the 3 sons. I think it was a Brian and a Bill and a Bob and something. But then 3 brothers bought the business from Bill and Patty, and they couldn't get along. The one brother that kept it, I started working on his trucks at night. That's how I was paying back that $250,000 in debt. I didn't file bankruptcy. I was working on fleet trucks at night, like Feral Gas and Golden Flake Potato Chip and those kind of things. And so I started working on BBB's trucks. About a year later, Phil's brothers wanted him to buy the business out from him. So he and I and another friend formed a new corporation. We got a small business loan. We bought the business out from him and his brothers And now, Dave and I have been partners now for 28 years, something like that. I'm not sure how long it's been.
Okay.
Long run.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a very successful business. I mean,
yeah, we've been very blessed to be a part of this Northwest Arkansas community, and we're really, really honored to hold the position we do with kind of being the authorities in our market space. So.
Yeah. I mean, within the real estate space, anytime, somebody needs a septic test or a septic put in or, a perk test or anything like that, man, you're the first thought on everybody's mind.
Well, we like that. Yeah.
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 Well, fantastic. So, tell us a little bit about your investing career so once you got BBB up and running and everything's good.
Yeah. So it was a totally different, I was running in two universes, basically, trying to help build a company. Julie and I, just out of necessity, brought the mobile home to Northwest Arkansas. In fact, we brought it up here, and her mom and dad lived in it until they got their house built. And then we started renting it out because they relocated from North Little Rock as well. We did that, and then after I figured out I shouldn't live in a neighborhood, we found a piece of property that we now occupy, and the bank wouldn't loan me money, but I found a private investor that would basically own or finance the land to me. Consequently, I ended up becoming very, very close to this gentleman, and he became my mentor in so many ways. He owned a trucking company. He owned real estate. And so one by one, he helped me I bought several properties on the courthouse steps through his help. And then I ended up buying several of the streets or several of the homes that are on my street where I live. And then across the street, I bought a property that now houses my admin for my company.
Okay.
And then, we've kind of been very blessed. Our kids, actually, we helped them buy property on our street, like right next to ours, so that they have their house there, and our granddaughter lives there. So I get to go pick her up every day to go check cows and stuff. So
you can't beat that.
Yeah, we've kind of created our own little, commune there, but, a lot of it's rental properties. And then as our company grew, our company needed more property. So my partner and I formed another LLC, and then that LLC buys commercial properties, and we triple net lease those out either to ourselves or to other entities, and we've got other properties than just what we need. But
right.
So I've got a kind of a commercial side, I've got the residential side, and then I've got the business side of what we do. And, it's just all a juggling act,
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being our sponsor.
Sure.
For the month of November. We love having members and as sponsors, and
right.
giving back to REI-NWA, and it's been great to get a few minutes with you and learn a little more about your story.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody wants to use BBB Septic, how do they get in touch with you?
It's pretty easy. We're all over social media. The web, it's bbbseptic.com. You can go there, and we've got all kinds of forms that you can fill out, and it sends that to our admin at our office. You can call us at 479-271-0058. But we're real easy to find. We're very blessed that our marketing team has us pretty prominent on, the Google listings and IMAP and all that kind of stuff. So if you just type in BBB or septic near me, you're gonna pull us up.
And actually, I guess I should run down some of the different services that you do. I guess I mentioned a few, but perk testing, septic design.
Right.
You do portable toilets for job sites.
Correct.
What else?
Well, we're cradle to grave when it comes to septic. We can do your soil test for the contingency for, like, if you're purchasing property, mm-hmm. then we can take it on and do the design. We do the installation. We do simple systems, pump systems, advanced treatment systems, experimental. In fact, Piper just designed the first experimental system that used a new product in the state of Arkansas, and it's on a pilot program right now. We just installed it. So, having Piper on our team coming from the health department, she's very forward in how she helps tackle septic problems. But we do, Cave Springs and Elm Springs, and used to be Bethel Heights. They all had the step system. We work on on those systems. In
and
fact,
for people who don't know what that is, does that mean? You've got to take sewage from one elevation to a higher elevation?
No, so the step
work?
system just means that, so on a normal septic, you would have the tank where everything comes into the tank. The tank actually captures the solids and the trash and that kind of thing. And only the water goes out the backside of the tank. And the water on the right size property would go out to a set of lateral lines or absorption field.
Okay.
Right? Well, in communities like Cave Springs and Elm Springs and what Bethel Heights used to be, they made smaller lots, so there wasn't room for lateral lines at each house. It was more like living in a neighborhood.
Right.
So what they did was each house has a pump. So they have the septic tank, which is normal, which needs to be pumped out periodically. And then the water goes into a pump chamber. And then all those entities that I talked about have a pressured receiving line. And so your water that would normally go out to the lateral field pumps into this pressured line. That all goes to a collected site for that entity, and then they treat it. And so like in Cave Springs situation, they have a wastewater treatment plant, but it only takes care of the gray water.
Okay.
All the black water, all the sewage actually stays in the tank, and only the water goes out, and it's treated. And then underneath the creek's golf course is a myriad of irrigation lines where after that water is all treated, it goes out to keep that golf course green. Oh. And so it's irrigated year round by the wastewater of what comes out of Cave Springs, but it's all underground. You never know it. You don't smell it. You don't see it. Right. So that's a step system because it's not.
So it's kind of a hybrid between sewer and septic.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
They don't have the infrastructure to handle all the solid waste that comes in with wastewater. They only have enough infrastructure for the gray waste. Okay. So there you go. You learned something.
Yeah, I did. And so did everybody listening.
Right on.
Really cool. All right. Well, definitely get in touch with BBB Septic with any of your septic needs or porta potties on your job sites. Right. And we'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, man. Happy to be a part of this. We love NWA, REI. Julie and I went to one of these things you got in the mail, and then they charge you, X number of thousands of dollars for a weekend learning thing, and then they talk you into another one and I found out that there was a such thing as this group through spending multiple thousands of dollars, and I've gotten way more out of this organization than I ever did out of that. So, if you're looking around, trust me, this is going to teach you a lot more than what you learn in one of those paid subscription deals. So
absolutely,
word to the wise on that. So
thanks so much, Jon.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Cole.
See ya.
You bet.